Testing. Hi. Oh, thanks. Is it time? All right. Happy Sunday. Good morning.
Good
morning, Sierra Center. Welcome to everyone that's here, and welcome to those of you that are in virtual land, whether Facebook, Zoom, or YouTube. My name is Julia Robles-Scott, and I am honored to be your bridge minister here at Sierra Center. And I would like to just get started today by reminding us of who we are. And we're a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive science of mind community aspiring to live universal principles through the teachings of science of mind and spirit. We have compassion for ourselves, for each other, and the world as we continue on our soul's evolutionary journeys. We meet in community to uplift one another in classes and fellowship. And so, whoever you are, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. And so I would just like to get us started today to ask what's alive in you today? Enthusiasm. Authenticity. Gratitude. Love. All right. Creativity. Wonderful. Did somebody say something? Family. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. All right. Well, let's see. Where are we? Oh, I'm going to invite us to stand for our two community songs, and we have our wonderful Billy Benson with us today.
Hi, everybody. You know, I've been out of the loop for a while, like not singing at church. I used to do this all the time. And now, like, 7 years later, I'm back and I'm going, woo! It seems like all different now. So I hope I don't mess it up. If I do, please forgive me. All right. I used to play this all the time, and now it's like, okay, all right. You ready? Shall we do it? Okay, go. I'm doing it in A minor, and I'm just doing it back. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful life. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful life. Thank you for each breath, Spirit. Thank you for each breath. Thank you for each breath, Spirit. Thank you for each breath. This healing, this healing, this healing breath. This healing, this healing, this healing breath. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My evil, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful friends. All right. Thank you for this joy, Spirit. Thank you for this joy. Thank you for this joy, Spirit. Thank you for this joy. did good, thank you. Okay, now I gotta do another one? Oh my God, I'm nervous now. All right. I mean, I'm not really even awake at this time of day. You know, I'm a musician. I don't usually even wake up till 9. Oh my God. All right. Hey, good to see you all. All right, here we go. I'm choosing heaven today. What are you choosing? All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it. Here we go. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road there right now, singing. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm gonna choose love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing love today. Peace, all right. I'm choosing peace today. Oh, I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing peace today. All right, abundance. I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I choose abundance today. All right, Heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing heaven today.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, everyone, for singing. Welcome to those of you who are joining us while we were singing. Today's an exciting day. We are going to have a community meeting after today to get updates on what's going on with us. And in the meantime, I am going to invite our wonderful volunteer Hillary up for a sacred reading. And then we will go into our time of inward shift. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the candles. Yes. Thank you, thank you. All right, so let's do the announcements first. Welcome. All right, announcements. Thank you. So we're in a transition phase of me not having to read this anymore, but today's the transition. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hillary Dart, and we are thanking Van Dart again for his weed whacking around the facility. It looks great. Yay, Van! And there are a few sign-up sheets in the foyer. You might see over there on the table. We're looking for volunteers to share announcements and sacred readings, to join the visioning committee, and to learn the live stream tasks for the Sunday service. There is interest again in dinners for 4, 6, or 8. Please sign up if you would like to host and provide the main dish, and or if you would like to attend the dinner and bring a side dish. Any questions, contact Juanita. That's Juanita over there, the master behind the curtain. And as promised, study groups and events will be starting this month, and Walking with the Rev will meet every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Please check our Facebook page or the walking location for the day, or call Rev Julia at 530-208-9035. An 8-week course, The 5 Gifts of an Abundant Life, will meet every Thursday afternoon, June 22nd through August 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. Books need to be ordered, so please sign up soon. The book is $16, registration is $45, then $20 per session. And then Another announcement is more information coming on the Energy Codes book study starting in June. We'll be hosting a game night on Friday, June 30th. More information will be coming about that soon as well. And we're excited to announce that a quick start class will be offered and will meet on June 25th and July 2nd. If you are interested in becoming a member of Sierra Center,
It's actually July 28th and 29th.
okay, new dates for the quick start class, July 28th and 29th. Okay,
If you'd like to become a member of this community, or just get a refresher on a little history and a little bit of the principles that we teach.
all right, great. Yes. Yes, and I'll just repeat that. If you are interested in becoming a member of Sierra Center, this 2-day class will introduce you to what that means. We'll have a new member installation during the Sunday service in the future. Sign-up sheet is coming soon. And we can join Judy Silberman for Sacred Circle Dancing at Condon Park this Friday, June 9th, from 10:30 to noon. Contact Judy. She's right back there with the white hair. And noon, contact Judy and or visit our website. Oh, there's more. Another page. We have 2 ongoing groups that everyone is welcome to attend, and they are now available both in person and via Zoom. First, our Manifestation Mastery Discussion Group meets on Tuesdays from 5:30 to 6:30, and our Science of Mind Study Group meets on Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30. Find the Zoom links in weekly newsletter or on our online calendar, on our webpage, right? We are very excited to introduce Text to Donate. This is a really simple, just text Sierra CSL to 44321, and you'll be directed to our donation link. Lastly, please remain after service today for a special community update meeting and potluck. You'll find out about the results of our survey and visioning so far. We'll also live stream the meeting via Zoom for those of you who would like to join virtually. We'll be using our Sunday service Zoom link. And we'll have a community meeting and potluck every first Sunday, and there will be a visioning every 4th Sunday of the month. And that's it for the announcements today.
Thank you, Hillary. That was a lot of announcements.
That's a lot of announcements.
Oh, my God.
Okay, great. Billy's up again for another community song. Then we'll have a sacred reading, and then the time of, hold on just a second.
One.
Let's do the inclusion candle lighting ritual and then the song. So our wonderful practitioner, Rev Madeline, is going to light this candle for us. And we light this candle to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, the seen and unseen, to remind us of the light of Spirit within us all. Thank you. And now for our song, Namaste.
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, you ready, everybody? You all sing with me, because Namaste, Namaste. You gotta sing. My heart sings Namaste. The Christ in me, the oath of Christ in you. Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. One more time. Namaste, Namaste. Namaste. My heart sings namaste. The Christ in me beholds Christ in me. Namaste. 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 Good job. Thank you.
And now we'll have a sacred reading. Thank you, Hillary.
And today's reading is called All the Hemispheres by Hafiz, translated by Daniel Ladinsky. Leave the familiar for a while. Let your senses and bodies stretch out like a welcome season onto the meadow and shores and hills. Open up the roof. Make a new watermark on your excitement and love. Like a blooming night flower, bestow your vital fragrance of happiness and giving upon our intimate assembly. Change rooms in your mind for the day. All the hemispheres in existence lie beside an equator in your heart. Greet yourself in your 1,000 other forms as you mount the hidden tide and travel back home. All the hemispheres in heaven are sitting around a fire, chatting while stitching themselves together into the great circle inside of you. Nice.
And I'm Reverend Madeline Wade, and I'm here to do our inward shift today in the affirmation and everything. But first, the community value for today is authenticity. Oh, it's a heavy one. Because authenticity includes vulnerability. And I don't know about you, but that's not the number one thing I like to be. Transparency, which relates to that, to being really real and really open, and what you see is what you get. And with me, that usually is true. Ask my husband. And then integrity as well. To be real, to be consistent, to be what you really truly are. So all of those three things are so important. And I was, you have to Google if you're going to speak, right? It's like you're speaking, you Google. So I Googled authenticity quotes. And I came up with one I know all of you have heard. And if you haven't, I think you haven't been on this planet, which is a possibility. You could be authentically from somewhere else. But I think you've heard this one. William Shakespeare, Hamlet. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man or woman. Okay, he was behind the times. So it's like authentic, showing up the way you are, and you could be having a great day or you could be having a lousy day, but showing up real. Because if you show up having a lousy day, then the hugs are just more precious. And if you're having a great day, you can hug more, well, it depends on if the person wants you to, but more vigorously, more excitedly to be of service. So it's just an amazing thing to be like that. And I want to end with, now, this is a modern person who you've likely heard of as well. And Brene Brown is her name. Oh, I see heads going like this. Okay. Authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every single day. I added single. It is about the choice to show up and be real. The choice to be honest. The choice to let our true selves be seen. Oh, let that land for a minute. And then we're going to take that into our meditation. So the first thing I'm going to do is ask to close the door. Thank you, Juanita. You could read my mind. It's okay when a truck goes by. So what I'm going to do is ring the bowl 3 times, and then do 3 ohms, and we'll go into a 5-minute meditation. And then I will bring you out of it with a spiritual mind treatment, and then we'll do our affirmation for the week. So get ready. Hold on. I invite you to keep your eyes closed and listen. The universe, the all, the oneness, the divine source is breathing us. Each and every one of us is divine spirit in human form. Everything is spirit. Everything is wholeness and love, even the shadow. So I know and accept this state of being, this grace of energy, creativity, joy, love, fellowship, friendship. I just know and accept that it's all good and it's all unfolding perfectly. And I trust and know that that is the truth. And I know and accept that each and every moment is a precious gift, and that we co-create with spirit, with each other. We are all co-creating in each and every moment. And that as we come together in sacred community, we do that with that love, that fellowship, nourishing each other, supporting each other, playing with each other, learning with each other, teasing each other, laughing with each other. So I know and embrace it all. Oh, and crying. Crying is good. Crying is authentic. So I know and accept that it's only good, it's only God. And then each and every one of us here gathered in person and also on Zoom or Facebook or YouTube, we are all one. So I know and accept for each and every one of us perfect health and well-being, prosperity of all different kinds, and that we walk this earth with trust and knowing that we are divine beings co-creating with spirit. And I also know for each and every person who hears these words, unexpected pleasures and treasures that are recognized, appreciated, and just give great thanks for. So knowing that all is true, and that this is blessed, and this is grace, this is love, this is gratitude, all of that wrapped into one, I release it, I let it go. And together we all say, and so it is. Thank you. So now we get to do our affirmation. And what I'll do is I'll read it first, and then we can all say it together. And it's up behind me, so you'll be able to see it. And I can read it. I'm really glad. Okay, here we go. I mindfully fill my cup up with the love of who I am. Together. I mindfully fill my cup up with the love of who I am. And so it is. You're on again, Billy.
Pre-talk song. It's all yours.
Hey, boss, can I tell a little story about this song?
Please not.
No?
Not to me. We're trying to time it.
Oh, no. Yeah. I can always just sing it really fast. All right, hold on. This is the Image song, right? Well, this song has an interesting little story, but I wrote it in the garage in Australia, and I was feeling like, can't I just be myself because I'm just not good as anyone else? And so, just a quick little story. So, I was in the original Rocky Horror Show in Sydney, and half the guys were gay there, you know, and I was one of the straight boys in the show, and so my manager was gay, so I wrote this song, and then I sang it at a gay bar, and they all cried. It was really sweet, because in Australia in 1974, you had to hide it. You know, they would hassle you. You know, the Aussies were kind of like macho men, you know. So, but anyway, this song had a little bit of a history, and my manager, Mark, he was such a cool guy. Anyway, it goes like this. So I wrote this song about I was living in Sydney with my girlfriend. It goes like this. Trying to figure out who am I when I was about 21 years old. It goes, everybody says I need an image. guess I'll just keep hanging on, singing all my old love songs. Oh, surely someday I'll find a way. Yeah, yeah. La, 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 la. 'Cause everybody's got advice what to do and what is right. They'll take my reality as they have, and I still see them run me like a puppet on a string. Lord, I wish they let me get on my back and let me free, and I'd rather do or die on my own. Let me take you walking by a river, breezing through a sunny afternoon, and we can do as we like, stay until the stars are bright, sleep beneath the blanket of the moon. Everybody's got advice what to do and what's right. They'll take my reality as to hide, and I still see them run me like a puppet on a string. Lord, I wish they let me be, get on my back and let me free. I'd rather do or die on my own. Yeah. Well, everybody says I need an image. Play the role and you'll be on your way. Can I just be myself? I'm just no good as someone else. I know I never make it that way. Hey,
Fun. A lot of good energy in here today. I really feel it. Man, it's nice.
Oh, great, great.
It's like even better than it was a month ago. I mean,
All right.
something's getting better here. It must be your energy, or I
Well,
don't know what
it's
it is.
us. We're co-creating it.
Do I have time to sit down, or what's the
Yes,
scoop?
you need to sit down now.
Well,
Thank you.
I'll just sit here.
All right, sit wherever you want. So that reminds me of this quote I wanted to share by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it is, "To be yourself in a world constantly trying to make you something else is a great accomplishment."
Yeah, right on.
But before we get it started on the talk today, I just want to ask, does anybody have a June birthday? All right. What's your name? Terry. Terry. Anybody else? Well, we'd like to sing happy birthday to you, Terry. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for being born. One more thing, if there's any new people for the first or second time, if you would mind raising your hands, right on. We'd love to welcome you here today. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Great, wonderful. So this month is June, so we have a new theme. The theme for June is embracing self-care. And this one is really near and dear to my heart because, wow, in my life, self-care was not something that I was taught about, and it was by not practicing self-care that I really learned some of my most important lessons. And so today's talk title is The Evolution of Self-Care. And I learned from reading the materials that the evolution of self-care started in the 50s, that term and that idea of self-care in the medical field. And they were telling patients to have self-worth because they thought if we, as a person, thought about themselves that they were worthy, that they would make better choices for themselves. And so I started thinking about this and relating it to my own life. And I could absolutely relate. So I think last week I may have mentioned that there was a time where I had low self-esteem. I feel like I was plagued by low self-esteem. Probably, I couldn't remember. I was thinking about it, trying to remember when it first occurred. And it just could have occurred when I was 18 and I got kicked out of my house and my spiritual religion of upbringing. What I know happened then was I lost a huge part of my self-identity, and I know that I had low self-esteem. And so what I did was I drank a lot, did drugs, I did everything to not feel the low self-esteem, the shame, the guilt, whatever it was that I was feeling, right? So I was trying to not feel. And years later, it was about 10 years of that journey of just, I would say, self-destructive behavior. And I lived through it, gratefully. But one of the things, and I wasn't really sure, like, drinking is not the issue. It was what's underneath the drinking, right? And it was low self-esteem. It took me a long time to figure that out. So as far as self-care goes, it wasn't until 28 that I hit a bottom and I thought, whoa, I need to make a change, or maybe I'll kill someone or kill myself, right? I lived through that. So self-care started to look like going to 12-step meetings and connecting in with a community and feeling loved and supported and accepted just for who I was. And it also looked like, reading good books. And I got a hold of a book that was really instrumental for my recovery process called The Way of Love by Gerald Jampolsky. Has anybody else read that one? That was a good one, right? And in there it mentioned A Course in Miracles. And so I thought, well, what's that? So I got the Course in Miracles book. I found a Course in Miracles study group, and I started studying Course in Miracles. And one of the things about Course in Miracles is that, it's in alignment with our teaching, that we're whole, perfect, and complete just the way we are. And that was like the beginning, kind of a light bulb moment of, I could start to let go of this unworthiness feeling, this guilt, this shame, all the things that were plaguing me, really. And they were hiding my light, right? I was afraid to come out because I didn't think I was good enough or whatever. And so, going on, my self-care journey began to look like eating better. It's really interesting in our society. I find it so weird. Think about it. Whenever we do something wonderful and we want to celebrate, we have a tendency to do self-destructive things. Isn't that strange? There's this book I read called Conscious Love, right? And it talks about this upper limits problem. Like when we're feeling so good and it feels so uncomfortable that we do something so that we don't feel that good because it feels so uncomfortable. So maybe that's a societal thing, right? Plus there's that conditioning we've had to not be in so much joy because look at all the other people around us that aren't, right? It kind of goes along with this theme of shining our light brightly. I think we had that quote by Marianne Williamson last week. Who am I? Who am I to shine my light so brightly, right? Who are you not, right? One of the wonderful things about this science of mind and spirit philosophy is that we believe there's only one. There's that one infinite source and supply of all of life, that's seen and the unseen, and we're part of it. And we believe that it's a power for good in the universe that we can use, consciously choose to use, right? And part of that is about choosing our thoughts. Ernest Holmes is quoted as saying, change your thinking, change your life. Anybody ever heard that? Well, we know there's a little bit more to it. It's change your thinking, change your feeling, and change your actions. That's the key. Mind, heart. So this thing about self-care, right? It's interesting because I look at my mom, right? And she is a person that I notice maybe didn't know about self-care, right? And so I didn't learn about self-care. And so I'm like, oh, no wonder I didn't know about self-care, right? And probably, there's a whole generation of us that were taught to put others above ourselves, right? And so there's this huge societal, cultural shift that needs to happen in our minds about self-care. There's a quote I have here. Let's see. What is it? This quote says, it's by Audre Lorde. It says, self-care is not self-indulgence, it's self-preservation. So how do we shift our thinking about self-care? To put ourselves first. My self-care is so important. I have a perfect example of that because I did not get a day off this week. So, and I feel it. I feel it a lot. But you know what? It's, I made that conscious choice. It wasn't like I was being unconscious about it. So the reason why this topic is so important to me is because it took me a lot of years to learn how to care for myself. I mean, I knew I had to go to, have a job and, earn money and work and have a place to live. And, I could do that. I did that. But what about my internal self-care? What about my feelings? I'm a highly sensitive person. And I didn't know how to take care of my inner being, my inner wellness. And so, as a result, I don't want to go into the details, but I crashed and burned. Crashed and burned, had a breakdown, right? And part of the thing was that I was raised to think that it was a good thing to be helpful, right? You would think it's a good thing to be helpful. Well, I think it is, and there's a difference between being helpful and being supportive. And that's part of the thing I've learned in my self-care journey. To not just jump in and automatically start helping somebody without asking them first. Because that can be taking away from them their own learning experience, right? Can anybody relate to that? Well, it was like I got my hand bit several times because I was so helpful. People did not want me to just jump in and do for them, right? So that was part of my self-care journey, was to learn how to be supportive and not so helpful. Seems counterintuitive, but it's important. I learned, right? And one of the things that goes along with that in my self-care journey was then I could learn how, and I really needed to learn how to say no. Because I was so helpful, people would ask me for help. And I was kind of a handy gal, and people wanted to hire me. And I'm like, thank you. All right, yes, okay. So then what happened was my calendar got way too busy. I mean, it was detrimental to my well-being. And so then I had to learn about self-care, on learning how to say no. And it was really hard for me to say no. And so I devised a strategy to help myself by saying, you know what, I would really love to do that for you, but I really recognize I need to do that for myself first. And so that's what I started saying. Or I would say, I'll have to check my calendar and get back to you. So it was just that pause, instead of saying automatically yes, that allowed me to feel into my own self. Like, how am I feeling? This is one of the things that I learned. In this county, they hired trainers to come to the county for people who had lived experience. I'm one of these people that had lived experience of addiction and or mental health challenges, or both. That's me. And they hired trainers to come to Nevada County to teach us WRAP, which stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And the Wellness Recovery Action Plan is this wonderful plan that helps you recognize what you need, when things are starting to get too busy or whatever, like when there's a red flag. Like 1 year I locked the keys in my car 3 days in a row. That's a red flag. But also, then I found myself driving down Highway 49 on the wrong side of the road. That is a red flag, right? That's like, hello, something needs to change immediately, right? And so I recognized that as a red flag, and I was like, okay, so how am I feeling and what do I need? Those are the two questions that I learned about my self-care. How am I feeling and what do I need? And one of the things I needed to do in the beginning when I first started taking this class was they wanted you to list 5 supporters. Anybody that I could call at any time if I felt like I needed support. I could only think of 2. 2 people. So that was a huge realization that I need to increase my support network for my own well-being and my self-care. And so over the years, I worked on that, right? I could call so many people now today. And it's just such a blessing. One of the realizations I had years ago was that God blesses me by the people in my life. I am rich and abundant because of you, the people in my life, and many more. Right? Yeah. And it also helped me shift my thinking around abundance. Because there was a time where I was sharing this with somebody this week that I ate out of dumpsters. And it's illegal now. You could get a ticket for that or whatever. I mean, let's just waste the food so that people can go hungry. Hello. Oh my gosh, this world is interesting. So there have been times where when I had no money, none, right? And then I had a friend that said they didn't have any money, and come to find out they had a couple $1,000s in the bank. Well, when I said I had no money, it was like no money, right? So it's all relative, but, so self-care, right? What happened for me during that time that I had no money was that I was spiritually bankrupt, right? And we know that scripture that says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. And finally, at some point in my life, when I was recognizing that people were just showing up and supporting me and giving me work and feeding me and whatever, that I was doing my own internal work. And that there was a shift. There was a shift in my outer because my inner changed. And that's what Science of Mind is all about, right? It's about shifting our thinking, our feelings, our beliefs, our attitudes, and our actions to create a world that works for not only ourselves and our community, but a world that works for all. That's our vision, right? And so self-care over the years has changed. I've become more conscious about what I need. I need peaceful, serene, harmonious, beautiful living environments, and I'm living in one right now. And I got that message from Spirit that said that's what you need for your well-being. And so I make sure that I have those living environments. Self-care also feels like community. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to say yes to this bridge minister position, because since March I've been with you in community. And it's lovely. We're in a transition, yes, and we're having some growing pains or whatever, right? But because of my life experience, I totally trust the process, right? I know that wherever we are right now as a community is exactly where we need to be, and that the next step will become clear, and the next step will become clear. We continue to do our visioning, and we continue to do our internal work, and the next step will just beautifully unfold. And there's that beautiful saying in 12-step community, one day at a time. And I still have not found a better way to live my life than one day at a time. And to do that spiritual work. So some of the other things that are helpful, that you may find helpful, are meditation. And you know, people get freaked out about meditation, like, I don't know how to do it right, or I can't stop my mind from thinking, right? But there's contemplative meditation. That's right. What is your intention to contemplate? There's walking meditation. There's writing meditation. There's mindfulness meditation, where you can be mindful in every single moment when you're washing the dishes or going for a walk. Mindful walking meditation looks like this. I'm thinking about my heel on the ground and my foot and my toes as they move. And just being in that moment. And in those moments when we take the time to just be, that's where we can feel the presence, that infinite intelligence, that wisdom within us that comes from that one source. Where we can hear the voice that says, you are whole, complete, and perfect, just as you are. Or we can hear the answer to a question we've been pondering of what's my next step in my life. Be, just be. That's the key. And so I would just like to end this with prayer. So I invite us to go within. And just feel into that presence. That one infinite presence that I call love, light, Spirit, God, whatever word works for you. That thing that connects us all, energy, vibration. We are one with it. And we have that infinite intelligence within us always that can inform us around our own self-care. How am I feeling and what do I need? The answer is always there. If we simply take the time to go within. And so I claim for us as a spiritual community the opportunity to come together in joy and celebration, to lift one another up, to get to know one another authentically, to feel safe to be vulnerable, to feel safe to share our deepest experiences, and be embraced and loved because we know we are whole, complete, and perfect just the way we are. And so I claim for this center that there is a healing going on. There is a healing in mind, in thought, which we know affects our body and all of our life's affairs. And so I give thanks for the opportunity to have this wonderful philosophy called the science of mind and spirit that supports us in our daily application of creating a life that works for us and the world. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to take classes and book studies and dance and sing together and all the fun, playing games and just celebrating life. For it really is a blessing to be alive. I'm so grateful for all of life itself, knowing that the shadows of ourselves are needed as well as the light parts of ourselves, and that we are enabled to embody them, embody our whole self And that's a key to allowing ourselves to love ourselves wholly, fully, allowing our light to shine brightly, because we need it right here, right now, more than ever on this planet during this human evolutionary process. Let's just say yes, yes, I love myself. And so, with gratitude, I release this word into the law, knowing this as our truth, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Oh, wow, thanks. All right, let me see if I can figure out where we are. We need to talk. Oh, okay, well, we're going to do it a little bit different today. So we're going to sing the song first. We're going to stand and sing the song. And then when the song's over, we're going to say our prosperity affirmation. And then we can sit and get our offerings together as the basket is passed, and Billy will noodle or do an instrumental for us. Okay? So everybody stand and sing.
Check. The noodling, I thank you for reminding me. All right, I'm going to do God is my source?
Yes.
All right, cool. I didn't know all about that, driving down the road, and I went, maybe it was like a past life in England reincarnation thing, you know, wrong side of the road, you know. I mean, it could have, you never know. All right, yeah. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So give me thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything
Thank you. And we can remain standing for our prosperity affirmation. So I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And now we'll have the passing of the basket.
Am I going to doodle? Okay.
thank you, each and every one of you, for your gifts of just your presence and financially, all the gifts that you bring. And so I'd like to bless these offerings. And so I know that the abundance of life continues to move through and in as each one of us. And so I bless these offerings, knowing that they come back to each one who has given them, multiplied and pressed down. And they go out into our community because we are a tithing church. And bless our community organizations here. And they go to Centers for Spiritual Living, our mother organization. And they continue to bless the world. So it's that wonderful law of reciprocity, that butterfly effect. And so I just say thank you, God, for all these blessings. Thank you, Infinite Universe, knowing that we are abundant because we are it in manifest form. And so it is. Also, I'd like to thank everybody today who showed up to serve. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Rev Madeline. Thank you, Billy. Thank you all for being here. And just a reminder, we are having a community update meeting after service today. There's going to be some food, so please stay around and socialize and just get to know each other and just know that you are loved and welcome here anytime. And thank you, Victoria, for showing up. She has been gone for so long. It's great to see you. All right.
Yay.
All right, so let's stand for our benediction. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Right here. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It's this thing called self-care. It's this thing called shining my light. It's this thing called spiritual magnificence. I know it. I feel it. I sense it because I am it. And so it is. And now let's remain standing for our closing song.
You're all gonna sing, right? Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can play this one in like forever. Okay. All right. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere that I may go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere that I may go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Every day, every day, every day. Every day, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let that light shine through. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, let it shine on me and you. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it show what the power of love can do. I'm gonna let it shine every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Come on, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, Thank you, everybody. I was winging it. Let's eat. Let's socialize. Let's hug. All right, come on.